And hello, everyone. It is Tom. This is FANzine Live. This is Classic Zines today. I am excited because we are winding up Space Week. And Space Week means that the Space, or Small Press and Alternative Comics Expo, here in Metro Columbus, Ohio, is about ready to kick off. The show itself is the 28th and 29th at the McCoy, MAKOY, at 5462 Center Street in Hilliard, Hilliard, Ohio, 43026. Make sure you go. There are going to be a ton of really talented people there. Some very special people, many longtime cartoonists and zine makers and the like. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, coming for his only trip from the Pacific Northwest to do a show this year, Steve Willis, creator of Morty the Dog and the Collected Cranium Frenzy Project, as well as The Tragedy of Morty. It's going to be a big show. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we're talking classic comics today. The classic zine we are going to look at is a hefty little tome, O Comics. O Comics is the annual anthology of the guy behind Space, Bob Corby. Bob makes a fantastic looking zine every year, and he debuts it at Space. We've looked at Space before. We also looked at O Comics before. This is volume 1, number 11. It was 1999, and we have contributors old and new in here. Bob is really an impressive editor. He's got kind of a stable of people who like to keep coming back every year and participate, and then he sprinkles in new folks every year. Some of them stick, some of them don't, and that's all fine, but it is a good time. O Comics is an anthology. This issue is themed science fiction. We're going to put this off to the side. But again, Small Press, Alternative Comics Expo, March 28th, 29th, Saturday 10 to 6, Sunday 11 to 5 at the McCoy in Hilliard, Ohio. Let's put that off to the side and start taking a look at O Comics. Nice looking paperback book. Bob has a fantastic printer. This cover is great. It's heavy plastic laminate on both the interior and the exterior. I think it's just so neat to see a display of cartoonists. These are not all Columbus cartoonists. They come from all over the country. They all have Bob in common. This first one is a piece by Pam Bliss. Pam is a close friend of Bob's, and they have been doing Space together as long as I know. Then we switch to The Loner by Bill McKay. Really like the 2-panel page here. It has a neat narrative structure and helps tell a story. But then, of course, when you jump to your big splash page, you switch to the 1-panel. Karen O'Donnell did, I don't know if it's a manga-inspired piece. The eyes remind me of Grendel. The bodies remind me of kind of the stuff of the day. That is definitely a Liefeld or McFarlane type pose. Now that's manga-ish. Kind of a neat mix of styles. Bunny Blues, that's a Bob Corby piece. Tons of beautiful stippling. He likes to put in a few pieces as well into his zine. J. Kevin Carrier has done Sparky here. Really like the work with the shadows, the negative space type stuff, the inversion of the color scheme. Mind you, it's black and white. He does some really creative stuff. Neat kind of silhouette hologram type look there. This is Michael David Toth doing Tales of the Weird Two-Fisted Food Fantasy, the top of the food chain. That's some pretty good looking cartooning. Taking on the mighty vegetables, your carrots and onions and peppers and tomatoes and everybody else. This one is Smartball by Joe Mirabello, a cute science fiction one where they're playing a ball game, but the ball is a head. And that head is still alive, and it is getting smacked all over the place. Bob worked with Michael Nino, legend in Columbus cartooning circles, and a heavy devotee of Jack Kirby. Take a look at some of this. I mean, tell me that's not a beautiful Kirby homage face there. Looking for some crackle. I'm sure it'll be in here somewhere. Kind of a classic Kirby look. David Myers and Stephen Myers did this Just a Stone's Throw. Another neat one doing the shading, but not necessarily the character outline. Makes the image a little more curious, not your standard comic book stuff. And then, of course, one of my favorite cartoonists of all time, Matt Levin, doing Sealandia. Matt, of course, uses rubber stamps and has an amazing visual style. Cannot get enough of that. In fact, let's take advantage of the opportunity and yet again plug Strange Times #3, The Worlds of Walking Man. All Matt Levin. Gorgeous work. Love Walking Man comics. Then we get into Michael Anthony Carroll. Back in 1999, he must not have worked out his ninjas yet because he is doing stick figures. He's now known these days for being the ninja artist. And in fact, in the most recent O comics, going to officially be released at Space, Michael did a ninja piece, but this is all stick figures. Johnny Gonzalez, not familiar with him? Do like the cartooning style. Nice and clean lines, expressive faces, easy narrative structure, doesn't overwhelm the reader. Larry Nybert, another one of my favorites. Look at that. And then this is one of the fun parts of seeing classic zines. You grab legends who are no longer with us, in this case, Larry Blake. And I hadn't seen this piece by Larry before. All about an artist who wants to do comics, but ends up discovering that his ink splatter messes become variant covers. And he just has to keep doing them, and it doesn't really go well. So instead, he publishes enough and finally just says, enough is enough. I'm going to do this, my best work ever. And he puts out this thing, and it's called Psychozort. Psychozort is available on Amazon. I know Larry has passed, and we mourn his passing, but you can still pick up Psychozort on Amazon. There are, I believe, 2 issues available. Then we go to Ray Tomzak. Real nice, clean, kind of humorous cartooning look. Mike Carroll and Will Petrie, making a nice little stick figure one. Kel Crum, another favorite of the space crowd. Then this blew me away. Mick Cusimano. Mick Cusimano got into mini comics back when I was doing stuff back in the mid 80s, and he was out in Boston at the time. His work hasn't changed a ton. It is absolutely fun to read. Then he did another one here. Todd Webb, unfamiliar with it, but great kind of weekly newspaper strip style. Turnip. Who is Turnip? Ryan Holgerson, who's doing he does the Book of Things, which I've featured in one of my Strange Times. We used a piece from him there. Wow. Old Brian Holgerson. Very neat. He had a great style back then. Then we get to Brent Riches. Interesting. I can't tell if that's a font or not. It's got to be a font of some sort. Another Bob Corby piece. Great looking gingerbread man. Stuff on the creators, contact information on the creators and contributors, information on back issues. He even threw in an order form because we were not quite into the internet age. And then Space for the year 2000. That would have been an early edition of Space because it's in its 27th year. That's it, everybody. A great looking issue of O Comics. Thank you, Bob, for sending it along. I will see you at Space, Bob. I will see everybody at Space. But first, make sure, like the video, subscribe to FANzine Live. Make sure to tell your friends, not just about O Comics, but O Comics is cool. Talk about space. Tell your friends about space. Come out to space. It's free to come in, and it's very exciting and fun to see everybody. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you next time.